Welcome back, everyone. I'm Joan Engebretson from Telecompetitor. I'm here with Ed Gassel from Viavi Solutions. This is the third part in our Video Innovator series. And today we're talking about the first and third life cycles of PON. What about testing the service? I would think you would need to incorporate testing of the customer's Wi-Fi as part of the process, yes?
When you install the drop as part of that second phase of the life cycle, you really want to be making sure that the service works. So the customer is buying a service of a specific speed. And today, more and more, they're buying these multi-gig services. So 1 gig, 2 gig, 4 gig, 5 gig services. And so you need to test those to make sure that the customer is getting what they've paid for where they need it to be. And because the speeds are becoming so high, using a normal smartphone or using a laptop really doesn't cut it. They don't have the horsepower to generate the speeds that are needed. So using a specific design device to do that speed testing is what you want to be using. And that needs to be able to do over the wired connection, which increasingly is 2.5 or 5 gig or maybe even 10 gig over twisted pair, but also out over Wi-Fi, because in most homes that are not wired with Ethernet cabling, you're going to have some Wi-Fi connectivity, say, to the TV that you want to be using. So you need to be able to make sure that you've got the right Wi-Fi signals, that you've got a good channel, that you've got good speeds over the Wi-Fi as well.
After a network is built, maintenance and repair become the key issues. What are your recommended best practices involving maintenance and repair?
So the maintenance and repair, as I said earlier, tends to be driven by either a customer complaint or by some alarm on a system that they have. And they really need to then break that down into what's wrong and where is the problem. What's the problem? Where's the problem? And they use many of the same tools that we talked about in the first two phases of the life cycle of the network. But one of the key things that they may use there is an OTDR that is designed specifically to be used in an in-service network. Because when you're constructing, you typically don't have anything on the network, so you can use an OTDR in the wavelengths that the system's going to work on. But 1625 and 1650 nanometers are two wavelengths that are used for out of service or for in-service testing, because those wavelengths are out of the service wavelengths that are used. So if a customer has a problem and it's suspected that there's something wrong with the fiber itself, a technician can go to the customer site and hook up an OTDR and shoot up into the network at one of these out of service wavelengths. And they can then find the fault that way. So a break, a bend, a bad connection between the drop and typically the first splitter. They can also measure optical power, just as they did when they installed it, make sure that the optical power that's coming in is at the right level. And they can also do the service level testing, both over the wired and the Wi-Fi, to make sure that the customer is getting the speed that they're supposed to get. And if they're not, it can help. Those testers can help identify why they're not. Where is the problem in the network? What is it along the way that's causing a bottleneck to the customer's speed?
Well, I think that's a great place to leave it. Thank you so much for your insight and perspective, Ed.
Thank you, Joan.
So that does it for this edition of the Broadband Innovator Series. We look forward to visiting with you again soon on another important topic. Take care, everyone, and see you soon.